All right, what's going on? I'm gonna be talking to you about my experience that I had running the Spartan with no training, and it happened to be a super, right? Which what most people, well, I didn't know at the time. A super is something that's a little more difficult than one of the sprints because it's longer, it's got more obstacles, and it's more of like you're running up a mountain, and there's that type of obstacle opposed to a sprint which you could kind of run the whole entire time. It'll probably take you like 40 minutes or an hour to finish. This one I ran, right, and it took me 3 hours and 32 minutes. So I'll just share my experience with how it was. I think it was phenomenal. I think that it really was something that I um, was not expecting, right? It was a completely new experience for me in mental toughness because I've never done anything like that in my life. Like, if anyone knows my story, I've played soccer, I've trained to run a faster mile. I've done sprints. I've done a bunch of stuff to really train my body to withstand um, and so it can outperform when it's game time for certain things. For this was definitely something different. It was a straight mental power and mental willpower that was needed for me to finish it. Because I'll just explain, like, I got to the top of the mountain and I was thinking, like, all right, sure, I haven't trained. I don't really know how long 8 miles is, and I am running up a mountain, but it can't be that hard. All right, it's 8 miles. Like, I legitimately thought I was gonna finish it within an hour and a half max, because I'm running a 5 minute mile, 5:12 mile. I'm like, all right, well, let's pretend I run a mile in 7 minutes, conservatively, for eight. That would be in 42, 56, um, 56 minutes. And I was like, all right, well, I'm running up a mountain, so let's throw an extra 30 minutes onto that. And boy, was I wrong. I was so off. I added an extra freaking 2 hours to that time, and it was still a good time, believe it or not. But regardless, I what did I learn? I learned that it's all mental. Like, at the end of the day, it gets to mental. Like, I did not know how long it took, and like when I got to halfway, I could have sworn I was like almost done. Like it said super 4 miles left, and I was like, damn. I could have sworn I just finished it. Like, I'm almost done, and it wasn't even it was literally halfway done. But at that point, I was like, all right, I'm halfway done. I had that little mental, like, damn, that sucks. I still have so much more to do. But then I flipped it, and I was like, all right, I'm halfway done. It's less than half to finish this thing out. And that's how I approached it. And one of the biggest things that I learned is just to keep moving, right? I got some terrible freaking cramps in my thighs and my calves. Um, I've never ran 8 miles up a mountain in my life, so like, and I never trained or prepared for it. So I was not my body was just like thrown into it. But regardless, it was still one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, and I think because I was able to do it, it allows for me to believe in myself in more things. Like, you build self confidence when you do things that is hard, right? And with this Spartan race, it was hard. Like, I was trying to maintain with the special ops that was there. They were from the Air Force, and I was maintaining. I was running with them, pretty much the whole entire race, because I wanted to see if I could keep up with them. So it was hard, but was it worth it? 100%, because it increased my mental willpower. It increased my ability to um, just keep moving forward. Like at one point, I was just looking at I saw the massive mountain. Like you had to run it up. You had to run up the mountain 3 times to the very top, right? With different trails. And by the third time, after I had to do the sandbag with 70-pound sandbags, think about that for a second. Oh, it was brutal. Like I still can't believe I was able to do that. But I brought those sandbags all the way back up to the top of the mountain after walking it down the mountain. Uh, and then the last one, which is you come all the way down and then you come back up. And that is like from the very bottom. It's below where you start, because you start kind of like at like a little peak when you start running up. You go below and then you see going all the way up to the top. And there I was like, damn, I am not gonna be able to do this. So instead, I just looked down and it was just like one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. Next one, last, and just kept going all the way up till I got there without even looking. Like I would look up and not want to look up because I saw there was so much left. And it's a steep hill, so like you're not even running at this point. You're really just fast walking. Like you're cranking up with a fast walking pace, so you can maintain a good time, right? So I would say that it is a mental barrier that you have to go through because, believe it or not, you have 40% left in your tank when you think you're done. And I learned that. I really did learn that. When I thought I was done at halfway, I had more in my tank. When I got all the way down to the bottom of the mountain, I had to run it back up. And I thought I was done. I had more in my tank. When I had to crawl through the barbed wire, I had more in my tank. When I had to do monkey bar through a pool or through a water thing, and you had to go across it, or you'd fall in the water, I had more in my tank. Like all those things, you had more in your tank, even though you thought you were done. So it's a huge learning experience. Can be applied in other areas of life as well to increase your pain threshold. So that's my experience. I urge anyone to try it out. Maybe not the super. Like I was talking to my buddy who invited me. He's like, yeah, like that was not the right one to throw you into. But thank God I keep myself in shape. It wasn't something that like would significantly hurt me. But it is something you should train for. Definitely, that's something that the next Spartans that I do, I will train for it. I will be better off with it. But I recommend it. It will definitely increase your willpower or your mental performance. And as long as you don't give up, you're going to be able to build your self-confidence with it as well. All right? Catch you guys.